Hey, I'm Aaron with Seattle Piano Company, and today I'm standing with our Steinway Model A. More specifically, this is a Model A3, it's 6 foot 4.5 inches long. Out of the Model A family, I mean, they're all kind of rare. There's not a ton of them around. But the A3, the longest out of the A's, the 6 foot 4.5 model that we have here is definitely the most sought after. They actually discontinued making this model for several years because it was a really big competitor to the Model B, which is 6 foot 11.5. And so the B was more expensive, and Steinway wanted to sell more of their upper end expensive pianos, so they removed this from their model lineup. But in any case, this is a 1925 model. Which is definitely right there in the golden era for Steinway, and it's had a ton of work done. As you can see, there are no keys in this piano right now, but we'll get to that here in a second. So we sent this piano out to be refinished, and as we're looking at the finish here, it is about as good as it gets. It's absolutely gorgeous. So we had this refinished in an original satin ebony, so it has this hand-rubbed satin line into it. And so as we're looking at it, we're seeing the hand-rubbed satin lines, and we're seeing this replated hardware. So the hardware is like newly plated in this brass. It's just popping and it's gloss, and it's just really, really beautiful. And more important than the aesthetics, I suppose, of the cabinet here, we'll take a look at the inside because this has had a full belly restoration. And so when we say belly, that kind of refers to all of the components of like the strings, the soundboard, the tuning pins, and all of that. Everything but the action, essentially, is what the belly is. So being from 1925, this piano has had some work done to it over the years, but there was room for improvement, especially in the finish and the strings and whatnot. So it now has brand new strings. The plate here has been refinished, brand new tuning pins, of course. All the felts that we have underneath the strings are brand new. All of these gold pieces here, or gold-looking pieces, are made of brass. They're called A-graphs. These have all been replaced as well, which gets overlooked a lot. This is a part that really should be replaced every time you restring a piano, especially a Steinway, with some age to it, but it doesn't really get done all that much. But in any case, that's a nice touch. I'm really glad that we had that done to it. The soundboards on pianos, and looking at this one, being from 1925, again, like almost 100 years old, it's wood will kind of brown a little bit. I mean, it just kind of gets this more brownish hue as it ages. But what they did when they were refinishing this and they had the plate out and everything, they went ahead and they bleached the soundboard to kind of get some of those lighter tones back into it. And so looking at it now, I mean, this looks like a brand new soundboard. The other really nice thing about it, soundboards will crack a little bit, and things happen over the years. Looking at this one, there were no repairs necessary. This is a totally intact original soundboard, no shims, no cracks, nothing. Same with the bridge. When we're looking at the bridge here, I believe that we had the bridge pins replaced, but the bridge is also flawless. There's no signs of any cracks anywhere. Every piece of this chrome that you see on the piano, all that hardware has been replated. I mean, this is a proper restoration. But along with that proper restoration that we're really excited about, goes with the action and the keyboard set. And that's sort of a whole nother story. It's something I kind of slept on a little bit, unfortunately. The piano went out, it was getting restrung and refinished and all of that. And usually when we get the pianos back, I'll order the parts and I'll rebuild the action once the piano's back here, so I can kind of work with the action and the piano at the same time. I didn't do that this time, and after the piano came back and I was looking at the action, I'm looking at getting new parts and everything, I noticed how worn the keys were. And looking at it, I'm trying to diagnose what are we going to do about these keys. And anyway, let's look at the action real quick. All right, so here we have our action and our keyboard here. And so when we're looking at it, actually, like visually, it doesn't look all that bad. Some of these parts have been replaced once before. Looking at the shanks and the flanges and the hammers here, these are definitely not original 1925 equipment, but they have been replaced with all Steinway parts, which is great. Except Steinway had this little thing called the Teflon era, and where they were using Teflon instead of felt to bush these components, which is, anyway, read about Steinway Teflon era. You're going to see a lot of information on there. Bottom line is they would have needed to be replaced anyway. So after we replace all this stuff, I'm kind of looking at the at the whip-ins down below, and they actually look to be in really good shape, but if I'm replacing hammers and shanks and flanges, I'm already doing all that. I kind of want to go through and just like really kind of polish up and restore this action frame and everything. Let's just replace all of the whip-ins too. That happens all the time. So it's like, if we're gonna do this, we might as well do this, and then we're doing might as well all day, and then we end up with a complete restoration. Given how nicely this thing came out, let's not mess around. Let's replace all those parts. That's fine, right? But the part that's kind of a bummer, and I say it's a bummer only because I have to write the check, but the keyboard on this thing is really, really worn out. And so this is about probably as worn as I've ever seen a keyboard, which sucks, you know, I mean, it's like we would rather it be in nicer condition than not. But the solution to this is not, you know, going through and trying to make these keys nicer. The solution for this one is to have a whole new key set made. And the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna be contracting with a company called Rayburn Piano Works. And if you look up Rayburn, they're a multi-generational family that have been in the piano business for a long time, but not only are they in the piano business, they're in the rebuilding business. And they started, you know, kind of old world, the way that, you know, a lot of piano technicians started out, but they've really kind of advanced themselves and this company with using like CNC routing and, you know, like action modeling and things to really kind of take these pianos to the next level. And so one of the things that they do now is they produce brand new key sets. So what we're gonna end up with is a brand new set of keys. And so they're not going to have this like pole that goes back and forth and left and right. You know, they're going to feel great. We're going to get these, you know, obviously these huge runs on the side of the key that have been super worn. We're not going to see that at all. It's going to be a new key, but also the weight of the key. Like when I press the key down, like the weight that it takes to press this down and kind of move the hammer up and everything. I mean, even just like a gram or two, a pianist can feel it, you know? And to get all that to really feel perfect, there's not like an adjustment screw to be like, all right, a little bit lighter or like a little bit heavier. That doesn't exist. What you have to do is you actually have to like replace the leads in these keys. And so like the size of the lead and where it's placed and everything, all that stuff matters. And then also inside of the action, you know, like where the capstans are lined up matter, like where the action parts sit together, all that stuff matters. So working with Rayburn on this one, not only are they gonna make us a brand new key set, they're gonna take the action and they're gonna put parts on there that are gonna work as best as they can together with the new key set. So it's gonna be a totally custom keyboard, totally custom action. It is going to be the most expensive thing that I've ever invested in one piano. So it's more than any refinish I've ever paid for. It's more than any like restringing job I've ever paid for. And a lot of this is work that I used to do myself, but now kind of contract out. But it's a bummer in that regard, but I am so excited to see what like this like brand new action is gonna feel like. So we've got this really amazing, beautiful Model A bass, and we're gonna have this totally custom keyboard, total custom action inside of it. So it's gonna play about as good as it gets. I would be really excited to see our totally restored and totally custom action next to a brand new factory Steinway and kind of see what the comparison is there. So we're getting pretty close on this one. Really, I'm kind of packing this out, sending it out to Rayburn and then getting it back and then kind of pushing the action back in there for final regulation. That's the next step. I'll keep you guys posted on the next steps here, but yeah, really excited for how this is gonna turn out. Let me know if you have any questions about this one. Thanks a lot for watching.